up, guys? This is Setsumi, and I'm coming to you with a brand new episode of Why I Love This Card, and this episode is the season finale. So, because it is the season finale, I am doing not one, not two, but a multitude of cards, specifically cards that are really strong in engines right now. So, as you can see a broad range of cards, and I'm going to be going over all of these cards in this episode. First of which is the Brilliant Fusion engine, which is typically used with Gem Knight Garnet, just simply because it has the highest attack out of the normal Gem Knights. And if you don't know how this engine works, Brilliant Fusion, you activate it, you send a Light Monster and a Gem Knight Garnet. Most commonly, this is used in Perform Mages decks because Trick Clown can special summon himself straight from the grave, and then you can go into an instant rank 4, and that's all good. And but basically what it does is you send Garnet and Trick Clown or Damage Juggler or some other light monster to the graveyard, and you special summon out one of the Gem Knight fusions that lets you normal summon one extra time that turn, which can completely turn the game around for you and get you into a rank 4 almost instantly. This Brilliant Fusion has really taken over for a lot of decks, specifically decks like Medolce, and as I said, Perform Mages. Pepe uses this just because it's so powerful and so useful. It also does a lot for the Gem Knight deck as well, just simply because it instantly gets out Gem Knight cards and the Gem Knight fusions, and it has a nice little cool cycle with the Gem Knight Fusion spell card, just because you can easily get that card back in your hand by banishing a Gem Knight monster from your grave. So right away, this card is very powerful, a very powerful engine in quite a few decks, and I like it just because it's just so useful in so many different decks. Moving on, this engine has just started out like recently, just because Cosmos have been playing it, and it's the Artifact engine, which a lot of people I don't think consider an engine, but it's starting to turn into an engine just simply because it is so useful in shutting down anything Pendulum. If you don't know how this engine works, the main focal point with it is Artifact Scythe. When you special summon on your opponent's turn, your opponent cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, and that can really shut down any Pendulum deck or any deck that really focuses on summoning cards from the extra deck, Fusion, Xyz, Synchro, whatever, just because it's so easy to get out Artifact Scythe. Because Beagle Talk, you can special summon Beagle Talk with an Artifact Sanctum. You can activate a what's it called, a double cyclone or whatever, a twin twister on your opponent's turn, discard a card and destroy the scythe on your field and a card on your opponent's side of the field, and then suddenly you have a scythe and they can't do anything with it. They can't do anything at all. So that's going to be really even more powerful when that card comes out. And then you also have Moral Attack, who, when he's summoned, he can destroy one face-up card your opponent controls that's not targeting, so that's very useful, so you can just get a free destruction for no cost whatsoever, and that's awesome. Moving on is the Instant Fusion. This can be used depending on the type of rank deck you're playing. Most commonly used is Norden or Panzer Dragon if you're playing rank 5s. Instant Fusion has gone up and down in price depending on the meta, but it's still going pretty strong right now just simply because it is so useful in getting that rank 4, specifically with Norden. It's a lot of people thought Nodin was going to be a lot more powerful than it was because of decks like Necros or anything that has to do with rank 4 or water, like Shadal's could use this card very well. Uh, but it's not nearly as powerful as a lot of people thought it would be, but it's still pretty stupid when it wants to be. Specifically in decks like Pepe, just being able to revive Trick Clown or revive some other level 4 monster that you're going to need. So it's a good engine in just reviving cards from the grave, which sometimes a deck can have a problem with, and that's why. It's very useful. Finally, the last engine I want to talk about is the Trap Tricks engine, which is a good rank 4 engine in a lot of decks, specifically because it searches out cards like Bottomless. As you know, Rafflesia is going to be coming out next week in Breakers of Shadows, and Trap Tricks might have a little bit of a revival, but because it's a generic rank 4, probably not. But Trap Tricks Myrmelio, regardless, is pretty powerful just because it's special summon. You can target one spell or trap card from that your opponent controls and destroy that target. Which, if you're playing Dianea, that becomes very useful, especially against any deck that has Pendulum. So, Myrmelio and the rest of the Trap Tricks definitely very useful right now. I mean, even Myrmelio is used as a midway for Cosmos for when they first came out because in Europe at least, mainly because they didn't have Juraghetto yet and they just recently got it, as I believe. So as you can see, Myrmelio is just it covers a broad range of things. And just one, it's a rank 4. 2, it gets you bottomless and any other hole trap card like Time Space or Trap Trick Trap Hole Nightmare. And then 2, if it gets special summoned, it has destruction effect. So pretty good card all around. So thank you guys for watching this season finale of Why I Love This Card. Be sure to check back tomorrow for the season premiere for Season 2 of Why I Love This Card Competitive, which will take a focus on more competitive cards, and because it is the season premiere, it'll focus on quite a few cards as well. So thank you guys again for watching, and as always, guys, have a nice day.